bank. Back fat? Back fat, back fat.
Backpack?
Back fat.
Backpack.
Back fat, back fat.
New year.
New digs.
Oh, this is our first time recording in 2023.
And in our new spot. We're in a new spot now.
We're in a new spot
New year,
also.
new digs.
New year, new digs. You have any New Year's resolutions?
Get good.
Catch them all.
Yeah. That's really all I want to do is just catch them all.
All of what?
You know.
My mind went immediately to
STDs.
STIs. Okay. Today we wanted to talk about a lot kind of related to goal setting. We want to talk about time management and how to master your time management and really take 2023 by the toes and just
Right
give
by
it
the
a good
toes.
whirl. You want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. Well, I actually made a top 3, but I'll add this 4th one in as the number 1.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm going to re-say that again. Okay, I have 4. First one, especially if you're an overthinker, just literally take action. Like you're overthinking all the time anyways. You've done enough thinking. In the time that it takes you to think, plan, consider all these different options, it takes you longer to do all that than to just do the thing. I find often myself, like I get caught up in analysis paralysis and just doing a bunch of research, just get it done. It usually like takes, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, depending on what it is. If it's a project, like get started on those little steps that all accumulate to achieving the actual thing. Just break it down. Because when you think too much, like I'm an overthinker. Well, I used to be. I used to be an overthinker and I would just be stuck and I wouldn't do anything.
You're not an overthinker now?
A lot less so. So now it's kind of just like, look, I don't have time to waste. Just do the thing. You can adjust later. You can fix things later.
So you think you stopped overthinking because you took action more quickly in a more prompt manner? That would help you not become an overthinker?
I think getting out of being an overthinker was just me getting older, maturing, realizing what like my priorities are and being like, okay, overthinking does nothing for me.
I think I overthink, but not necessarily on things I need to get done.
What do you mean?
More so on like things that are happening or things that could happen versus things that need to get done. Like I don't overthink on like, oh, I need to go to the grocery store.
So you're not like with projects and like work, you don't really overthink?
Maybe sometimes.
But like decisions that are more maybe hypothetical, what if game?
Maybe sometimes. Like this year I'm learning to play the guitar. And I find that sometimes I'll do a little too much research rather than just pick up the guitar and start doing it, you know?
Yeah, actually that's something that I've been trying to encourage other people to do a lot lately is it's like you want to do all this research, just do the thing. You're going to learn more by doing it and you're going to be led to, oh, I should research this because I failed doing it the first time. You're going to get there a lot faster than just trying to research every in and out, every little nook and cranny, every little tiny minute process. Like
the only way you learn is by like trial and error and doing it, right?
Exactly.
When I was doing like we just talked about, I was watching videos on guitar for so long at one point. And one of the things I was saying was just like keep the guitar in the room. And like if it's there, you're just gonna want to pick it up. So maybe if like the project's there, it's open, it's ready for you, you're just gonna want to just sit down and do it. Like I have an open tab with the project open or open like audio project. I might just open the tab and be like, oh, I can fuck around with it a little bit.
Yeah, there's this idea, I think it's by James Clear. He's the author of Atomic Habits. He was saying, and this is establishing habits. So this is a little different, but you could relate it to project, task, completion, achievement, whatever. He was saying one thing you can do is make it harder to fail than it is to succeed. So having your guitar out or having your tab open all the time, it's like, oh, it's right there. I just got to do it. Versus if you had the tab closed or the guitar in the case in the basement, it's like you're never going to pull it out.
But how does having the tab open make it harder to fail? I can still have the tab open and then go to it and be like, oh, I'm shit, and then close the tab again, you know?
Well, I guess he's talking more about habits. So like you could relate it to making it harder to fail if you want to eat less junk food. It's like, okay, well,
don't have the junk food in the house.
Yeah, don't buy junk food in the first place, or just like put it in a really high, hard to reach cabinet.
It's tedious
so
to
it's
get
like,
to.
oh, I could fail by getting this junk food, but like I have to get a stool and stand on this thing and dive through all these different snacks just to get the candy that I want. That'd be a better example of making it hard to fail. You're basically just making it very easy to succeed. Maybe it's the opposite, but the way that you're doing it now.
With before I deleted Instagram and all the other social media apps, I would put a time limit on them. And you can just always bypass the time limit, just pressing 15 more minutes or whatever. But the act of seeing that wall, being like, I've like been defeated. If I go click the button again, like nothing's stopping me or stopping the phone from opening that app, except for that one wall that I see. And I'm like, okay, if I do this, like if I put the stool to get the shelf, get the chocolate, I'm kind of weak, So if I like press the 15 extra minutes, I'm a sucker.
So it's kind of like something it's like a reminder. It's like, hey, like you said you would limit your social media. So like here it is. Like, hey, you're gonna keep
Here's
going.
another reminder
Yeah.
before the actual act of like
Yeah.
getting into it is. That brings me to a point of what I would do when I'm trying to do time management is just put my phone away. I think the phone is
Where?
just like such a time suck.
In another room?
Yeah, usually in another room. Or like if I'm working on my desk, which is over there shortly, I'll throw it on this couch. And then if I want to go get my phone, I have to go up and get it. Versus sometimes I'll have like a minute break or something won't go the way I wanted to, and I just pick up my phone right away and I'm looking at my phone.
Yeah. You ever just like you're hanging out and you're like, oh, I got nothing to do, and you like find yourself picking up your phone without even realizing
I've been trying
it?
not to recently, since for probably half a year now. It's especially when I'm out or if I'm doing something, and I always see when people have a moment for themselves, they're on their phone right away. Like I was at like Aritzia with my partner, and all the guys on the couch were just on their phones. I just sat there and I just kind of just basked in it. I just like put my arms up and I just like sat and just looked around. Like I don't need to be on my phone right now. No, nothing. There's nothing for me on there. And then it was nice. Yeah.
Aritzia has men's stuff now.
Hmm.
Yeah, those guys should get off the couch and shop around.
I don't have money to spend like that.
Me neither. Well, I mean, I do, but like I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really a big spender, but
I'm not a big spender at
I
all.
would be interested in Aritzia for sure.
You would be?
Yo, you know Aritzia is Canadian?
No.
Weird, right?
Huh.
Yo, Taken, they are expanding into the US. My friend has a friend.
Only now?
Probably within the last couple of years. I only heard about it now, but
Your friend's got a friend? Good for that.
I have a friend whose partner is a manager in, I think it's the Eaton Center, Aritzia, and she's moving to Hawaii to open up the Aritzia in Hawaii.
Moving to Hawaii.
Like moving to Hawaii temporarily, I guess, but it's crazy. Like, and I didn't realize that they were Canadian to begin with. And if you think about it, Aritzia is like one of the biggest women's fashion brands
that we hear about.
It's like every girl loves Aritzia. Every girl wants Aritzia.
That
it's
and
like
Lululemon, also Canadian.
Lululemon too, but Aritzia has like a slightly elevated, more affordable luxury kind of vibe to it. And I was like, damn, man, like good for them. Canadian, branching out into the US. And just like they have almost like a stronghold on the female affordable luxury industry, I guess.
Oh, you're right.
Or niche.
Even Oakenford is Canadian.
Really?
Yeah.
I've only heard about them the last maybe 5 years.
They're like another luxury thing, and so is Mendocino. They're Canadian as well.
Yeah,
all the women's clothes that I hear about are Canadian, which is cool.
I guess it makes sense. We're in Canada.
Shouts out to the US of A.
Yeah.
No, but that's cool. Well, you always think about brands, and you're always thinking about how they're coming from the States, all the time.
Yeah, usually, like I assume all big brands are from the States
too.
Yeah, but Lulu's Canadian too, and whatever else is Tim Hortons, I guess. That's a bad example.
Canada Goose might be.
Maybe, I don't know.
What's another thing you got?
One of my favorite time management strategies is to do fewer things and dedicate more time to doing those few things. So like, for example, my schedule used to be film content, edit the content, do some work for my brother's brand, have a little workout, do this. And like, there was literally 10 things that I would try to accomplish in a day, 10-hour things, like each is an hour.
Yeah.
And inevitably, life would happen. My mom would ask for some help. I'd have to cook something. I would have to clean something, fix something. And then it's like 2-3 things just gone out the window. And it's like, oh shit.
You have to like cross them off your list because you're not
because I can't do them.
And then the next day or something.
And you know what that'd do is it would discourage me from even continuing the rest of my day. I'm like, oh, 3 things are already gone. The whole day's thrown out. So lately what I've been doing is I'll take all the things that I want to do in a week and I'll split them into days where each day, Monday to Friday, only has 2, maybe 3 things. And it's the highest priority thing.
Okay, so you number them and organize them like that?
I mean, I don't really number them, but I know, hey, every week I have to do, this activity twice for like 4 to 8 hours. Filming content, for example. But instead of filming for an hour, I'll set a time block of like literally half my day today is just filming content. And what that does is it allows life to happen. It allows distractions to come up. It allows for a larger margin of error with still having a high chance of succeeding. Because if, like, for
Mhm.
example, you have 1 hour to film content, your mom comes home and says, "Hey, I need help bringing up the groceries because we live on the second floor and she's tired and there's a lot of groceries." Cool. I have to spend like 15, 30 minutes helping my mom and like I'm tired and I'm distracted. Come back. I have like 30 minutes to go. What are you going to film in 30 minutes? But if you have the whole
Nice.
morning, let's say 8 a.m. to like 12 or 1, that's 4 to 5 hours. Like, oh, of course I can help my mom for 30 minutes. I still have 4.5 hours to just like bang out content.
That's
Um,
cool, and it
yeah,
helps you not, like you're saying, like, not feel failure. It helps you and then demotivate you. You can get that task done in all that time, and then if you have 2 on the list, banging them both out, and then maybe you have time for a third, and then you feel even better about yourself. You're like, "Yo,
exactly.
sick, I got
Yeah.
even a third one done. I got
It,
next day's one
it,
project done."
It was honestly more of a mental mindset thing.
For
I would
sure.
get really discouraged, be like, "Oh man, like
Mhm.
today sucks. Like I didn't film content. I didn't make inventory of this thing. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I didn't do." It's like 10 things. Like, bro, that's so unrealistic in a world where distractions in life happen. So this has been a very good benefit to my mental health
Cool.
regarding time management and like just the tasks that I'm getting done. It's like, look, I have half a day to do XYZ. You can get a lot done. And then for the rest of the week, you're like, oh, like I've done a lot already.
Mhm.
I can dedicate another half day or full day to it and I'd still feel good. And like you mentioned, like the little things too, like the smaller tasks that are maybe not as important or just like quick little 10-15 minute things. You manage to somehow just get them done
Mhm.
in the little breaks and the little small opportunities you get in those big chunk days. So like through focusing on 2 tasks a day, I'm still like, "Oh, I'm still doing laundry. I still managed to fit in a workout."
Yeah.
I'm just not putting all that pressure on myself
On
to
the
do
specific
every
timing.
single day,
Yeah.
specific timing, yeah.
Because yeah, if your worker gets pushed back by an hour, then everything else gets pushed back by an hour, and then something's getting cut out. Do you, end of the week, do you go back and review what you've done for the week?
Um, kind of. I used to plan out my day on a Google Calendar, and it'd be, like, every
Yeah, I
hour
remember that.
something
How was that? You
different.
didn't like it?
It was good for the first week, and then life started happening, and I was
I
like,
remember you saying you were liking it when you were doing it for
"Yeah,
that week.
yeah."
So now you don't do it no more.
No, now I chunk everything
But you
into
still put it on your
things.
calendar?
Yes. That way you can look back and see, like, oh, I did film content twice this week for both 4 to 5 hour blocks. That's a good amount of content for the week.
Cool.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yeah, yeah, that's sick. That's sick. That relates to what my dad said. I shot my dad a message about time management because he's pretty good with time management. Wakes up early, gets a lot done early. But what he said was, I'm gonna read it out word for word. So what he said. He said, installing the new dining room light. No, I'm just joking. He didn't say that. This is what he said. He said, you...
Son, you're adopted. That's the weirdest time management
Wait.
thing I've ever seen. That's one way to skip 9 months of pregnancy.
Yeah, seriously, that's his time
Time
management. Adopt a child.
management.
He said, you need to go back to the basics. That means you need to pick one super easy task for tomorrow, i.e., need to sweep the kitchen floor. You have all day to get that task done. This relates to yours. So make sure you do it. After doing that super easy task for a bunch of days, you will build confidence. Then you build from there and adding more extra tasks and so on and so on. And that's how I did it, is what he said.
Solid.
So he's saying they build confidence in time management first. So it's like you're saying have a big block of time. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be 4 hours to sweep the floor, but maybe in your morning you have to do 3 things in this 4 hour block. And they're super easy. One's clean the dishes, one's sweep the floor, and one's shoot content. And then you bang out those and you can build confidence. And then over time, when you're going into your day the next day or the next week, you're feeling more like I can do this because I can do more things. I can take on more things because I know how my time is working.
Oh, so he's
Yeah.
he's I don't think he's necessarily saying this, but he's like, "Oh, do the things," and you'll be like, "Oh, I can do this in 5, 10 minutes. Just get it done." And like, "I'm good. I'm confident and capable and competent in doing these things. Let's see
Hmm.
what else I can do,"
I
kind
think
of
that's
thing.
different though.
Because some people just don't do it at all.
I think
Yeah, I
that's
think it
different
is
what he's
different,
saying.
but
He's saying is like basically you have a checklist and then no matter what, this thing is getting checked off the list today. You know? Which is cool. But I also think I have to start writing things down. I'm waiting for an agenda. Should be here today. I'm waiting for an agenda because I think, man, last year I had an agenda for, I only used it probably for 4 months and then I got distracted with work. It's so easy to get distracted from those kind of things. But I want to get it again and really start, like we're talking about, writing it down. I'd rather have it physically written down than in my phone because then it's another reason for me to be on my phone, which I don't want to be on. But if I can sit down and open this book and I know the book's over there and I'll go grab the book and check on my week's looking like, check on my days looking like, that can block out a lot of time. and start doing that. Like I have so many small things that I know I need to do, but I want to write them all down so I can chunk out sections, and then know, like we're talking about earlier, if I finish tasks, I can look at my book, like, and then see what else small tasks can be done. So say I have a 4-hour window of editing audio or editing music, I can bang it out in 3, and then I'll open my book and be like, oh, clean the floors. I'm gonna do that now because it takes me 15 minutes or 20 minutes to do that. The calendar, the agenda I get is like one side you have the days of the week, and the other side is just lines.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
So I can write down specifically what I need in the day, or I can write down a general idea of the week. So it's like this week I need to film something with Marc, and then I can like find a time to put that in the week.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
My Andre, my brother, he runs this clothing brand and DIY sewing kit business.
Glory Allan.
Glory Allan. Glory Allan.
Glory to Allan.
Glory to Allan. And he has a mini notepad that he's always writing in. I was like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, just use your phone. He's like, I don't want to be on my phone. I get distracted.
Yeah.
Like, this is just in the spur of the moment. Like, it's almost like dialing in on like, this is what I need to get done. And like, you can't scroll anything. You can't necessarily be distracted by anything.
What am I do? Look at last week's work
I know,
and then maybe do something else?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like it just really eliminates. It's making it easier to succeed again. Where it's just like,
Why don't you get an agenda like that?
I'm so used to putting things on my phone. I do have one. I don't know. I don't feel. I mean, I probably could definitely benefit from it, but usually if I get distracted heavily on one day because I'm on my phone, I'll usually recognize it by the next day. So I'm like, oh, like I shouldn't do that, and then I get back into it. But I would definitely benefit from it. I have a bunch of notebooks. I just don't use them. So
I think another thing that I need to start doing, I've been starting to realize this past week or two, is understand that after the sun goes down, there's still hours to do things. I find that when like 6 hits, or since the sun goes down so early these days, 6 hits, 7 hits, I'm already checking out of things I need to be doing. Where it's like, oh, I push that task, I'll sweep the floors later, or I'll put the shelf up later. But I need to get it in myself to know that after 6, after 7, there's still time to do stuff. Yeah.
yeah, almost in the opposite way. I have to set times to stop doing work.
In the
Like at like
evenings?
10 p.m. Yeah,
Oh,
I have to
nice.
like really be like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't have to keep myself available to my friends and like to these social networks, and I don't have to continue working past 10 p.m. or whatever. Because if I don't put those like, hey, I stop at 10, I will go until 2, 3 a.m.
Really?
I like it and I get excited, and like obviously like the screen and being on social media is very stimulating. So it's very easy to just stay up. But then I'm like, oh, now the next day is starting later and I wanted to get XYZ done during the day. And so I think that's more of a work-life balance, kind of mental health, happiness kind of thing. But it definitely put a strain on my life and just not being able to stop working and put the phone down and relax.
Just give me a couple of those hours. I'll add them on mine, and then you'll have a little less. Yeah. And especially in the winter when the sun goes down so much earlier, I just check out so much earlier. Not necessarily check out entirely, but my motivation is a lot less. There's no like push. And during the day, I'm banging out a bunch of stuff, and the sun comes down, I'll drag to do a couple things. What else you got?
My last one is focus. I think time management could really be optimized. Actually, this isn't my last one. I have one more after this. But anyways, time management could really be optimized if you just focus, like really dial in on the task that you're doing. I love to multitask. I will admit I'm shit at multitasking.
Like what kind of things you multitask?
Um, I don't know. Like, for example, eating food while doing TikTok research or something, or like something like that. What ends up happening is I'm slower at both things at the same time, and they just take longer to do than if I were to just be like, look, 20 minutes, just cook, just go, go, go. While I'm eating, I can scroll, or even after I'm eating, I've been trying
Oh,
to
you
not
try
be
and
on my
cook
phone as
and
well.
be on your phone.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay,
Like
okay.
two different tasks at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
time. Even sometimes I'll be listening to a podcast while I do things, which I love, but like switching from podcast to podcast or like rewind or trying to listen, I'll rewind. I'm like, I'm just wasting time when I should just be going hard at this task.
Or
And
going hard and focusing on the podcast.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And often what happens is I feel as though when I'm multitasking, I get distracted easily because I'm doing two things at once. I feel like my mind's more open and receptive to other stimuli or other
A new
distractions.
one trying to grab you.
Right, because I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm going back and forth," but, like, on the way to going to this task, I saw something or, like, I
True.
thought of something else, versus if I just, like, scripted out a video and just, like, didn't put on a podcast, maybe some light music, just something to kind of have noise, but didn't try to, like, do laundry while I was doing it or clean up the
Sick.
room, like, it just really dials you in and you just get it done,
That's
and
smart.
but it's like a it's almost uncomfortable. Like you're leaving your comfort zone of like, oh, but I always want like a podcast or like, oh, like I could probably do two at the same time and get them done faster. It really doesn't work like
Mhm.
that. I don't think I think women are better at multitasking. I think that's like a proven thing.
I don't know about that
But
one.
even then,
You think
dude,
so?
even then,
Dude, my sister when she's on her phone,
really,
she can't talk
it's
to her.
one or
She
the
will
other.
not
Either
react to
men or
anything.
women are better at multitasking. I think it's women.
Okay.
But anyways, it's if I'm being really honest with myself, whenever I multitask, I'm so much slower, I'm less effective.
Yeah.
It's just a comfort and like, "Oh, but I want to," or like,
Mhm.
"I wanna, like, do these things at the same time." It does not.
Yeah. I think one thing in regards to the multitasking thing is if I'll try multitask and I'll do laundry and then do something else, I always forget my laundry's in the in the thing for like a couple hours. I'm like, fuck, I gotta take that out and put it on the line, you know? That's like me trying to push in a big um something big in between putting in the load and taking it out versus if I did like put in the load and then clean the kitchen. That'd probably be enough time to go get the load
Yeah,
after, you
I think
know?
I think that's like a that's an example kinda similar to, like, passive income where you want something to be doing work
Yeah.
while you're doing other
Yeah.
work. I would say that's different. Yes,
Mhm.
I would but, like, you could single focus task on laundry for 10 minutes, get it set up, send it, turn off your brain on laundry, go do work, set a timer. When that's done, stop doing that thing and go and do finish the
Do
laundry.
you set a timer for your tasks within the day? Like, so say
Sit
you have a 4-hour window to do video content, would you set a reminder at the 4 hours to be like, "Okay, video content's done. Move on to the next thing?"
I don't really set a timer, but I know like, oh, like by if I start at 8 a.m., for example, it's like, okay, by 1, 2 o'clock, I should probably switch at some point to have 4 or 5 hours of the next thing. But I don't necessarily say 8 to 1 exactly. I will just go and ride with the flow, knowing that it's like, okay, well, at some point I still have to get X amount of hours done of task
Mhm.
B.
And you gave yourself another big allotted time slot for task B.
Yeah, yeah.
So you said you try and bang out 2 to 3 things?
I
Of major things?
major things. Yeah,
Mhm.
this is like the 80/20 principle of like what is going to give me the most return by doing this for sure today. I will do those two. The third thing is like a workout or like laundry or like, oh, don't forget to like do some research on the next video idea. Like it's lighter things after the two big things.
Mhm.
Rarely will I put three big things in one day unless they're like easy to bang out and like they're
Yeah.
quick.
So a big thing for you necessarily right now isn't doing laundry or cleaning the floors or organizing some shit.
No,
I
because
mean,
you
like,
can
organizing your
you can
room?
batch that too. Like, if you wanted to focus mainly on work and like your projects from Monday to Friday, you can sweep, do laundry, clean the kitchen, do all that as like a
4-hour time
4 hour
block
block
on a
on like
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I try to batch laundry, cleaning my room, kitchen, all that
That's a
stuff as
cool way
best I
too.
can.
I find like it get messy really quickly though. If I'm not kind of staying on top of it, especially the fact that you and I have to wash dishes by hand right now. I feel like that adds up a lot.
Yeah, I do think dude, I've been talking about getting a countertop dishwasher
You
forever,
should eventually.
ever.
I think for me, sometimes I just get like sucked into YouTube or something, you know,
I get sucked into. Okay, well, you know
and
what
that
though?
just drains my time.
Dude, I get sucked into lately, my YouTube page is all comic book stuff and like Pacific Rim stuff and like
The movie?
Transformers. Yeah, like
Oh,
just all
nice.
these like movie scenes. And I know I've seen these scenes like 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
I just watch them again and again. I'm like,
They
yo,
put some
this
like
is
epic
so
music in
cool.
the background, like, "Dun,
Yeah.
dun," and then
No, even just like this, like the scene from the video
oh,
from the
weird.
movie with like their soundtrack. But for YouTube specifically, I love watching YouTube videos. I just push that to when I'm brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed. That's when I'll typically watch YouTube.
How about when you eat? Do you watch something while you eat?
Sometimes, usually it's a podcast, so it's just in my ear. But I've been trying to be on my phone or on screens less
Mm-hmm. While you eat?
while I'm eating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
I just would like to be a little more present, you know? That's all.
I agree. There's a passage in that book I'll show to you later about eating and getting other stimuli while you're eating. Like you should just enjoy your food. Like unless I'm eating some crazy leftovers or something I whipped together and I'm not even proud of it, then maybe I'll watch something. But
Yeah.
most of
Or
the
like
time,
if
if
you're
I'm
snacking, like it's a
yeah
little
yeah
different,
snacking
but
yeah. But if I'm eating a full meal that I made and I know is gonna be good, I'll try and not watch something and
hmm
just eat and enjoy it.
hmm
Yeah.
same.
Hmm.
Yeah. One thing that I've been trying to do a lot lately is ask myself, what am I optimizing for? So, kind of like a New Year's resolution or a goal, you can remind yourself, oh, like, be better with my time, be better with my time. But like, what does that mean? Or like, sorry, for example, you could say, I want to be on my phone less. And that is to better optimize your time management, right?
Wait, what?
Okay, sometimes people will say a goal. I want to be on my phone less
uh,
because I want to have better time management.
mhm.
So, sure, that's great. It works for some people. For me, I actually like to ask myself a question: what am I optimizing for? Because sometimes the goal that you set doesn't apply in certain other contexts of your life, but questions will always mold and fit the context of your life.
Example.
So what I ask myself is, what am I optimizing for? When I am multitasking, for example, laundry and cooking food and also doing TikTok research, what am I optimizing for? Well, none of the three. So I'm just kind of wasting time and like I'm just prolonging all these different things. Or when you're choosing what tasks you want to prioritize in the day, it's like, well, what am I optimizing for? Am I optimizing to get my work done? Am I optimizing to grow my brand? Or like it just kind of recenters your prioritization of
Like, what is the
tasks.
goal of this task that I'm doing currently?
Yeah, it's similar to the 80-20 principle, where it's like you want the most bang for your buck. So in what I'm doing right now, what am I optimizing for? Does it align with what is going to give me the most return? Maybe, maybe not, or like yes, then do it. But if it's like a maybe or it's not going to, it's like a reminder of, hey, you're not doing the thing that would benefit you the most right now. So you can continue to do what you're doing, or you can optimize for that thing.
But you shouldn't snuff a task because it doesn't give you the most reward. Because then you're not going to want to do the mundane tasks that are kind of dull.
No, but it's kind of just like, in what order are you going to do those things?
You want to
And
bang
like,
out.
what are you prioritizing first over the
Mhm.
other things, the mundane, right?
I think banging out the heavy hitter stuff is good first. Like if I have a project to work on, I'll work on the project first and then I'll do dishes later because it's more brainless.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say like, say you have a big task during the day, but then you find yourself on YouTube. If you ask yourself that question, what am I optimizing for? If you're on YouTube, you're optimizing for leisure, for like not getting things done necessarily. Sure, it's entertainment and you like it, but like in the grand scheme of things, I really got to get that task done. So
Hmm.
I'm not optimizing for it right now. Therefore, you do the thing.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, that's
Hmm.
time management. That's what we know about time management so far.
These
Definitely.
actually, all the things that I've said are only things I've started implementing in the last month or two,
Yeah.
which
Same with
it's
mine.
like it's working and I like it. They're not foolproof, but like, sometimes you gotta adjust.
Yeah. I really like the idea of blocking out bigger time slots to do tasks to reward yourself with finishing the actual task. And then if you have more time, you can bang out a small
Yeah,
task. I
exactly,
think that's
exactly.
the best point I took from this right now.
I think because you give these big tasks so much time to get done, you get a lot done, which then frees up time later. You don't feel pressured to like, oh, I got to do more of task A. Like I didn't
Yeah.
get enough done. Like you had 4 hours. You better have gotten something else done. Maybe that's a productivity video we could talk about next time.
Yeah.
But I usually find that blocking out huge chunks of time for these big tasks, it allows me to feel good about, when 8 o'clock comes around, it's like, oh, I can like eat and I can
Yeah.
relax and maybe get a little mundane thing done here and there. But I'm not like latched on to, oh, I didn't like do enough of task A. Like,
Yeah. I think with how crazy life's been recently, that's a good thing I should start implementing because before I started really tasking out my schedule and stuff, I would, like you said, put an hour, put 2 hours to do something, and then something happens, and then it's a wrap, you
yeah.
know?
And then the
And
whole day's
then
thrown
I'm
out.
upset, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I really didn't do that one thing.
Yeah. And you're like, screw the entire week. Like,
Yeah,
or like,
100%.
I'll get back to it tomorrow. It's like, okay, well, then today's wasted. Like,
Yeah, and then tomorrow I have to fit that in a new schedule. Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm
yeah,
gonna
give it a
definitely
try.
try
Let me
that.
know.
Yeah, try that out for sure.
Do you have
Okay.
anything else?
No.
Okay. I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Ready?
What? Ooh.
Here you go.
The dictionary.
It is a dictionary.
Actually, Harvard Dictionary of Music. Sick.
Yeah.
Where the hell did you find this?
It was in one of those like mini
What
libraries.
the heck?
Yeah. I just thought it'd be a cool like centerpiece for your studio. Just like
Yo,
just
this
like
is
put it on the table.
sick.
People can just look at it. It's huge
Yeah, it's
too.
huge. This is sick.
Yeah.
Dude, this is actually sick.
Big red bright book. Just I don't even know what year it's from. It's probably like, I don't know, 1800s or something.
This is sick, dude.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to do is up my freaking English a little bit. I feel like ever since university, my English has just been kind of going downhill. I know there's words that I've used before to relate to this one situation, but I don't remember the word at all anymore.
You know what's really good for that? Reading.
Yeah.
Podcasting too, but like podcasting can be more just general day-to-day vernacular. But reading, you'll come across words, you'll be like, oh, I don't.
You search them up.
Yeah, you search them up,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, now I know exactly what this word means. That's my favorite way to build my vocabulary.
This is sick, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, why is this so big?
I don't know.
And in such good condition.
Dude, I didn't think there was so many words from music.
You want to hear a word?
Yeah.
What the heck? No.
No?
Those are hard words. Not in English. Metzer Newman.
Is that a person?
No. Mazine Newman. Nooms. C. Nooms. Well, I'll go find Nooms later. This is sick. There we go. It's helping me up my English.
Who would have thought?
Thanks, Mark. See you guys next time.
See you guys later.
I'll have this book on radio.
Okay, peace.
Peace. Yo, where'd you find this? This is sick.
I'm in the library.
Are you supposed to take one, leave one? How's that work?
Yeah.
And?
I've only taken, bro. Holy fuck, it's hot.